a thing called an endowment. And an endowment in its simplest form is people give money to an organization, they put it in an account, and then they have investment advisors invested in the market. Well, their goal is they want to have, because there's a mandate on their endowment that they need to give away a certain percentage. So they want to, at minimum, earn interest on their money of 5%. And so, right from this nonprofit endowment function, is really ultimately they want to build it so big that they never touch the principal, and that the cash flow that comes from the interest of these investments sustains their organization. So the concept is called a perpetuity. You want to secure your future for your nonprofit organization in perpetuity, so forever. So if you look at the Harvard endowment, which has billions of dollars in it, it kicks off so much investment income that they can cover all of their operations. The same thing is true. This is the dream of every nonprofit organization, is to have an endowment that covers their operations. And so this concept works on an individual level as well. Many people will invest in real estate and they'll establish a bunch of rents, and that's passive income for them. And they want that obviously as a sustaining force where they don't have to sell assets in order to survive. And so we said, let's take the concept of an endowment and let's encapsulate that, because you can program money now. Of course, we are both students of Richard Hart. And one of the first things Richard said was, if you're going to program money, the first thing you need to program in is interest, or in this case, yield. And so what has happened is this opportunity, we have basically simplified the process, but added one caveat that reflects an endowment. And that is, when you lock up or stake your TEXAN tokens, you can do it between 2 days and 22 years. You choose the term. There's a rate of interest or yield that is actually embedded into the contract. Okay, so there's an actual 5% on year one, all the way to 236% in year 22. It adds up to an average of 87% if you did it for 22 years, or 1,881% if you lasted the whole time. But because it reflects an endowment, you have to have the ability to scrape your interest for cash flow, right? That the whole point is using your investment income that comes from your endowment to cover your operations. And so what we've done is we said, all right, we're going to create a scraping function. At any point, you can scrape the interest that you've earned over that time without affecting your principal. So we've separated your principal from the interest, and you can scrape it. But if you scrape it, you go back to day one, and it's a base rate of 5%. So some people will look at this and they'll say, that's great. I'm great with 5%. That's fantastic. But some other people will say, you know what? Because I can create unlimited number of stakes within this DApp, which actually burns your TEXAN token and reserves your potential interest over the term, you have the opportunity to make additional stakes that might be for a grandchild. The reason it's 22 years, it's essentially a generation. And so thinking about how do you program the TEXAN token and an endowment contract to help people secure their future and create this perpetuity in their lives? Because, you know, at the end of the day, what are we all about? Real wealth is passive income. And so that's what's been reflected in this contract. And you can go to texan.cc, you can read the white paper, you can look at the audits, you can read the code, you can go into the DApp. You know, this is, I believe, the right principles. And frankly, we've learned these things from DeFi, from Richard Hart, right? Not your keys, not your coins. Don't pick up pennies in front of freight trains. All of these things make sense. And here's the other thing I want you to know. We will not be on centralized exchanges. How many people have reached out to you, Brandon, to get on a centralized exchange?
I would say ever since we got CertiK audited and we were posted on their website, which, by the way, guys, that goes live in about 2 days on the CertiK side. I would say at least 5 to 10 exchanges have reached out and they've been like, hey, give us a bunch of your supply. And Matt, you know what my answer is? Not only no, hell no, you can market by TEXAN like everybody else.
That's right. And you know what, folks, if it wasn't for Richard Hart making Uniswap popular, this wouldn't be possible. So credit goes to him for that. Because here's the thing, Richard has taken so many arrows over time, And honestly, he's cut through the ice for so many of us. And of course, the pulse chain coming is a huge benefit. There's so many projects, like 130 projects that are waiting for the pulse chain. And it's amazing, right? This is our opportunity to literally say DeFi is the way, not these centralized exchanges, not people that are like, Sam Bankman-Fried, Celsius, all these people that go to zero. No, immutable contracts with your non-custodial wallet. That's it, right? Just straight up DeFi. And I believe that this is the alternative and the antidote to authoritarianism and to globalism.
Well, and ultimately, Matt, you helped bring this idea into my head, and that was, everybody likes the meme narratives. Everybody likes something that pumps. They like those things. But what's the most important thing about blockchain that I think a majority of the community and the majority of the industry don't understand? It's all about unlocking wealth within a community of like-minded individuals. You get to unlock that for everybody else. And that concept really stuck with me. That concept stuck with me in terms of the 501c3s and C4 nonprofits. Like, if we can get people on board and understand the power of this, I mean, will it fundamentally change everything or what?
Well, and it already is in some respects. But here's the thing I think that's so important about this is that what is fiat currency but by decree? The
Yeah.
money it's not backed by anything. So here's the thing, Richard said this many times. He said, our made up internet money is better than the government's made up internet money. Why does he say that? It's because in community, when we consider others in addition to ourselves, we recognize that we have value. We point to value. We say, this is value. That's what Texan is for the Texan nationalist movement. That's the incredible thing. And they can rally around something and unlock resources. What does it mean when people that are regular folks have an abundance? I look at the OG Hexicans and I'm like, it's a miracle, right? Ballet Brand. He's like, yeah, you put in $1,000 and it turns into 10 million. I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, that's a 10,000x. That's what that's what the Hex did. And I go, hold on a second. What if you could unlock this value by providing this type of solution for communities that already have trust? Because the hardest thing to do in crypto is to get degenerates to get along.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to tell you what, I believe that the people that are already around the world, already in agreement, already in relationship, already in community, could unlock a massive amount of value. It could even birth a new nation.
Yeah.
It could change the very nature of poverty in the Philippines. Folks, you talk about what do we do to change the world? We're stepping up and we're giving it our best effort. We're saying that we believe that this new decentralized financial system is the answer to these problems. Because here's the thing, we fight over scarcity. I was talking to these kids this morning and I said, why did we go into Iraq? Why did we go into Kuwait? Why are we fighting this war? Why are we doing all these things? Money and money and money. We're funding the war machine when people are like literally dying in our streets.
And it's because we have an unlimited money printer.
Right. Right.
And that really hurts society in so many ways. I want to tell you guys this too. Guys, we just launched. If you just hopped in here, we just launched TEXAN Token very quietly, and I'm kind of proud of that, Matt, because it was so hard not to say anything. I've been streaming the past couple days. I'm like, oh, I want to tell people. But here's the thing, guys. Don't FOMO into this, okay? Don't just relax. There's plenty of time. Chill out. Gas fees are probably going to spike quite a bit, so don't get chopped up and hit upside the head with that. Just relax, folks. There's no rush here. So I know that might be counterintuitive. A lot of people want to hype it up, but just chill and you'll be okay.
Yep. Bob the Guy, I wanted to say hello to you. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you.